Good evening. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Creations by Julie. I am Julie. Ed is behind the camera to catch your comments and any questions that you might have tonight. I didn't even put my phone over here, so we're just going to depend on him to catch everything. I do go back and read your comments and respond as Facebook allows me to. Good evening. You know,
It ain't Tuesday.
Did I say Happy Tuesday? Are you sure you're on the right video? No, because that's a black shirt. I have on a blue shirt.
Whoops.
Okay, let's back up. That was Tuesday because we did the spider pillow. Let's see if I can find it. Make sure. Okay, I'm going to have to get out of it altogether and come back in.
I messed up, ladies. Give us a minute.
See, the one time I don't get my phone over here. All I see on here is the passing of Queen Elizabeth. Okay, yeah. We are doing the Halloween wreath on the UITC board. Now, have you already turned it down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, ladies. I think I have him going here. So, again, happy Thursday. We're back on track. This is Thursday.
Marie Francisco says hello, everyone. Oh. Peggy Forbes says hello from Jacksonville, Mississippi. Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for being here tonight. We're going to make a cute Halloween wreath, and I'm going to use the small flower board from Unique in the Creek. But first, let's talk about our blessings that I like to give away every week. This week, if you joined me on Tuesday, you saw where I took these napkins that I had gotten at Home Goods and just made a pillow. It came out really cute. So what I'm gifting this week are 2 napkins so that you use them however you want them. Use them as napkins, use them as dish towels, use them as a background, use them as a pillow. Very simple, very easy to make. So your mystery word is still #spider. And then Monday, we'll be back on our regular schedule. We'll draw a name from the blessing bag. You're eligible even if you're watching this on replay. All you have to do is put in #spider. I will go back Monday and pull out all the names of everybody that did that, and we'll draw from the bag on Monday. Monday we will be doing the Magnolia Design stencil craft box for the month of September. And just in case you're one of the ones that have ordered the craft box, just be informed that somehow there was a little bit of goof up, and the instructions that are in the box are actually for the craft from August, from the apron. They're not for the craft, but it's very simple craft. I have the instructions I will send to you if you need them. Plus, I'm going to be doing it live Monday. So, okay, now got that out of the way. There's the 2 napkins. If you were with me on Tuesday, you know I talked about I had this dish towel that I thought was really cute. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I had decided at the last minute that I was just going to take these little blocks, put part of the dish towel on there, and just do boo. So there's my cute little blocks, and all I ended up doing is just cutting off, you know, about this much of the bottom of the dish towel. So I thought, well, I can make a cute little pillow to go on my fireplace with my spiders. But I didn't want it very big, so this was a perfect size. All I did was take the things, fold it, hot glued it. But basically, this it's not a seam. I mean, it's already folded.
Fabric glue, right?
Yes, I used fabric glue. I may, after Halloween, kind of see how easy the fabric glue is to get loose and kind of pull this apart and store it as a dish towel. But it was very easy to put on, and it seems to be holding just fine. But it just made a cute little pillow. So I didn't do that on a live, but I just wanted to show you what I ended up doing. So see, you can just take, and I may still go back and kind of make the edges black on this a little bit, I don't know. But there's a lot of different things you can do with napkins and dish towels and stuff like that. So I just wanted to show you that. I took a picture of it. We'll probably post it tomorrow. Ed and I are better. We actually got out yesterday and went and got a haircut. Now, it wore us out to get dressed and go anywhere. But it is getting better. I think now mine has attacked my sinuses, and I think I probably have a sinus infection. So my doctor was back in town. I did give her a call today, and we're well, I think it's the medicine that she gave me once before. I was able to take 8 or 9 of them before I broke out. So I'm now on an antibiotic, and we're just waiting to see, make sure it doesn't break me out. If it does, it does. This has got to go.
Ann Trevor says hi.
Hi, Ann. Okay, so tonight I'm going to get up and go to the end of the table because I think Ed can lower the camera and y'all can see really well. I don't even know if you'd call this a petal because we're not making a flower, but anyway, it's a technique. Very simple, very easy, and again, it's just the same thing over and over and over. So we're going to start. This is a small flower board from Unique in the Creek. Is this stuff in the way?
No.
Okay.
Patty Ford says if you had a machine, you could base the dish towel and pull the stitches out later.
Yeah, true. You know, I said I was going to hand sew my spider pillow, but I haven't done that yet. I'm messing with it, and it's just sitting there, so I think it'll be fun. But this is the small flower board from Unique in the Creek. I put a link at the top of this video for Unique in the Creek if you want to go look at all the different boards that they have. I don't usually buy the large flower board because to me the small one makes the flower big enough, I think, and I just like using them. But I thought I'm going to make a Halloween wreath. I also put the link to Craft Outlet because I looked yesterday. This is the mesh that I'm going to use. And you see I've almost done the wreath and I've probably got half a roll of mesh.
Thank you, Miss Ann, for the sprinkle.
Thank you. This is a fabric mesh, and I just thought it was very pretty, very colorful, but I only bought 1 roll of it. Now, it does fray really bad, but with this particular fold, it's no big deal. Craft Outlet does have this in stock, though, so you actually can order. You can go to Craft Outlet if you want to, get this same mesh. They sell the boards, and they are legitimately Unique in the Creek boards. They're not from a knockoff company. Unique in the Creek sells to Craft Outlet, and then Craft Outlet will sell to you. So you could get everything that I'm going to use tonight from Craft Outlet. This is called Fabric Plaid Mesh. It's a little more expensive than a lot of your mesh, but it's a very pretty mesh, and it makes a very pretty Halloween. And that's one reason I decided I wasn't going to use any ribbons or anything. Ed and I decided it didn't need it. It's very colorful. Now, I added a black fabric mesh with this, but you can get that at Craft Outlet. I'm using this. It's called jute flex tubing. You can use the flex tubing that you get from the Dollar Tree, or you can use the shiny stuff that you get other places. This is just thicker. I actually ordered it from Crinkle Design, but Craft Outlet has it also. And it's a good bit in a pack. You get a lot more than you do from the Dollar Tree, but you certainly could use the tubing from the Dollar Tree. And it, to me, takes the place of ribbon. And then I'm using just a black. Now this has a little bit of silver in it, but I'm just going to use it to cut pieces and show you how to do it. I had a partial roll, and it took all of it to cut the pieces. You're going to need about 3 zip ties, and then this is the sign I'm going to use. It's just got the shiny glittery orange, and it says Happy Halloween. It's not scary, it's not crazy, it's not gory. So that's what my second Halloween wreath is going to be. I got it from Crinkle's Design. Craft Outlet sells it though. So you could get everything I'm using to make this wreath tonight from Craft Outlet. And they have, I believe it's if you order $69, you get free shipping. So let's just lay this stuff up here for a minute. We're going to...
Road Throat says I had the same crud a couple of weeks ago and took some Zyrtec. Don't you take it every
I have allergies really bad, and I take Zyrtec every single day and Singulair every single night. And I still sometimes get a sinus infection. But since I can't take antibiotics that I don't break out with, I mean, I'm very blessed that I haven't had an infection in a long time, have I? But I think the COVID just hit my sinuses and caused this infection. Okay, so I will tell you the first thing you're going to do is what they call load your board. Now, you can definitely use pipe cleaners. I chose to use zip ties because there's no glue, there's no anything on this wreath, and the zip ties make sure your mesh is really tight and will not pull loose with this particular pedal. So, but if you want to load your board, the first thing you're going to do when you're using zip ties, sorry y'all, always make sure that the flat part of your zip tie, if you feel this little nub, the flat part needs to be facing up so that you can zip this into it, hence called zip tie, table ties or whatever you want to call them. So find on your board the top, there's two little holes that are meant for your hanging. You can use anything to hang it. You can use a pipe cleaner, you can use jute, or Lori always uses her zip ties. So you just put, these are 6-inch zip ties, so just put them through those two indentions and start it zipping. And you'll know it's catching because you can hear it. Okay. And then cut off, and it could hang either way, this way, doesn't really matter.
Yes, ma'am. Secret word is spider. Mystery word.
Yeah, mystery word is spider. All right, so that gets your, just however you want to hang it. I always do my hanging thing first. Now, for this wreath, you have 16. See these? They're in groups of 2. You have 16. You're going to do every single one of them on the outside. So to load your board, it's easier to kind of just pick it up and go from the back side, and then the flat part is going to be like down. And let me load the 2 right here first. And what I do is I just go through and push those through. I make sure I've got the flat part to where it's going to be facing up when I turn it over. It really doesn't matter which side you use. One side says made in Canada. The other side actually has numbers. So when you're using instructions, you can say row 1, 2, 3, but it's really no big deal which way. These are good plastic boards. They will not mold or mildew, and super easy. So what you want to do is go through. You can load the whole board if you want to. For this particular wreath, we're going to use the 16 on the outside, and then this is a newer board. And Laurie wanted to make it where you could do your petals a little fuller. So you can tell, here are your 2 that are together. Here's the 2 that's together, and there's 8 of those. Then she went back and added 1 hole so that you could share, to put your petals closer together. We're not going to worry with the 1 hole ones. Just put your zip ties in 8 of the 2 that are close together. Go around it, and you're going to have 8 there. When you finish, you're going to have about 16 of each color. If you're using 2 colors, about 32. I might have to use some of this middle one to help hold my sign up, but I won't know until I finish the wreath. So anyway, do your whole board, load the zip ties. All right, so you've got 16, 8, and then you're going to do, here's this row, row 3. There's 8 of those, so you're going to do all 8 of those. If you add that together, that should be 32. So I'm not doing all of them, I'm just doing you a few of them, and like I said, I like to go from the back. And then what I do is I turn it over. This particular method, you're going to close these zip ties up. So I could put on my glasses. When you start hearing it, you don't want to close it real tight, just when you start hearing it zip. Now, if you're using pipe cleaners, just pull them up through there and twist them one time. But I think if you ever use zip ties with these boards very much, that's what you'll want to use. Okay, so I'm just going to go through, and if I had the whole board done, I would close all of them. So you've got 16 on the row 1, 8 on row 2, 8 on row 3. And that's all we're going to worry about for right now. Okay? So pretend I have this whole board preloaded. That's what Lori calls it. You're preloading your board and getting your... Some pedals you leave the zip ties open, but this one you close them. So you're going to have a board full of pedals like this.
Thank you, Miss Ann, for the sprinkle.
Okay, now I'm going to show you what I did with the mesh. And like I said, I didn't use, I'm just showing this to have one to put on here. You could definitely use the black with the silver in it, but I'm going to cut, and I've got my mat turned backwards. Let me turn it around so that my 1 is down here. I am going to cut just a few pieces to show you how to get the pedal started. And it's kind of towards the end, so I'm going to lay something on it. I'm going to take my rotary cutter. Now, the fabric mesh has too much jute in that particular fabric to cut with the wood burner. This could be cut with a wood burner, but the pedal I'm going to do, it's no big deal. So I'm actually going to cut 16 inches. And you're going to actually need 16 of each color. 16 black, 16 of this. I may use more of this in the center, but we'll see. Okay? So I'm just going to cut a couple of these at 16 inches. Okay? This is all your prep beforehand. This is a very soft, it does fray really bad, but it's a very soft mesh. I like it. And you don't have to be exact 16 inches, just close. I laid out several ribbons, thinking, not sure what I wanted to do with the ribbon. But then as I got to working with the wreath, Ed and I both decided it didn't need any ribbon. It's very colorful. Sometimes less is more. All right, so once you've got all of your pieces cut, 16 black, 16 of these, you're going to cut 20, I think, no, 16 pieces of this rope. And it comes like in two bunches. So I used half of it. I've got this left over. But you're going to take and do 16 pieces, and I did them at 20 inches. So that's, no, I don't have my scissors. So you're just going to cut 16 of them at 20 inches. Okay? Just kind of lay them with your black. Because in my head, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I wanted my orange to be with the black. Okay, now, to get started on your pedal, I don't know for sure what this pedal or technique is called, but it worked well on this wreath. Since this mesh frayed so bad, I take it and I fold it, just barely touching the edges, like this. So you've got it like a cylinder and push it down to where your edges are going to be in the middle, but they're barely overlapping each other. And then I'm going to take it and just scrunch it up the middle. You kind of got a bow tie. A lot of times I think Lori called this the kerfluffle or something like that, but you kind of got a bow tie. It's not open all the way and ruffled, although you could do it that way, but this is the way I chose to do it. Then I just take it and I fold it in half and make like a nub here on the end. Does that make sense? Now you could take, if you want to make your petals ahead of time, you could take a rubber band and put it around it. But I just put it straight into the board. So you're going to start, you know, on the outside, and I put it through that zip tie to where I know it's catching that whole piece. It's about an inch, and then I zip tie it up. So you've got like two pieces here. But see, your edge is to the inside. And you've got, well, about to the top part of your knuckle. Almost to the next row. Okay? Then I went to my black. Same thing. Now these were, you know, kind of at the end of the row so you can tell. Put them together. You're basically halving your 16 inches. And just push it down. Now this gets a little tricky, but it's very simple. Make your bow tie, take it and just fold it. Just take your fingers right there and hold it down to where you've got this nub. And I alternated. All right, now I'm putting that in there, but then I'm going to hold it for a minute. I'm going to put my tubing in at the same time. And what I did is I put the two ends in like that, right to the end where it's about an inch, and just hold them in place. Okay, so that's what you've got so far. Does that make sense? Then I just took this end and brought it back down and put it in also, which gave me two loops here. No loose edges, two loops. And then if you do that really tight, oh, I didn't get my whole nub in there. Hang on. That's one thing about zip ties. You can redo. See, it came loose? So let me put another zip tie in there and redo that one. And I'm not adding anything with, you paid a good bit more for this mesh, so I want to be able to see it. Now, if it's easier for you to do all this and not close up your zip ties to the end, then by all means, and I'll show you how you can do it. All right, that one I'm just going to go back and cruffle it back up, get my nub, keep my finger right there because that's the end. Make sure I get all of that in there like this, and then hold it. Take the two ends, put them on top. It's just like if you were adding ribbon, and then bring this end back, fold it over the top. See, to me it's kind of hard now to hold that and zip tie this up. That's why I do it with them closed. Because you almost need a third hand here to get that zip tie to start through there. Can be done. Okay, and then do it tight. You just want to make sure you catch all of it in there. And then I've got the two pieces like this. And that puts a lot, that gives me my color right there on the black. And then I'm going to go to my next piece and go all the way around the board like that. Do y'all have any questions so far? Bow tie, fold it, and then just, I still got my finger right there so that I can make sure I get all of that in my zip tie. And go in plenty far because it's going to be big enough. You're basically making a ruffle around the outside. Okay, then the black. This one's too short, but I'll show you. And it's a little harder once it starts really curling, when it gets to the middle or the end of the thing. All right, so I'm going to put my finger in there and kind of make sure they're even, and then pinch it right there. Put it in, grab a hold of your nub and hold it while you put your flex tubing in. The two ends and then this end. And you have no pipe cleaners to cut. You've got the zip ties. Okay, does that make sense? Then when I get it all the way around, then I take my zip tie gun and cut off these zip ties. Okay, so that's what you're going to do all the way around, alternating. You're going to end up with, 16, 8 of the plaid, 8 of the black with the yellow on top. And I figured if I wanted to add ribbon to this, I could go back and run, see, through these holes. I could do a pipe cleaner and add my ribbon. But you'll see on the wreath that I just don't think it's necessary. Okay, so if you don't have any questions on that, I'm going to show you. Here's the one that I've just about got done. I just need 4 more. Isn't that pretty? And I mean, it just doesn't need any more ribbons and stuff. And that's all it is alternating 16, 8, and then 8. I may need to add some fullness in the center with my sign, but I won't know that until I finish. Okay, so let me get the pieces I've cut. And I just have 4 more to do. So here I am on the 3rd row, and the last one I did was the plaid. It's very colorful, and I've already got my 4 zip ties in there. So I'm going to go with the black next. And just kind of get it to unroll. And this is just a solid black mesh. It's a soft mesh, fabric mesh.
And Travis says it's gorgeous.
I love the bright colors, and like I said, you've paid that much for that. I believe this plaid mesh is about $8.50 for a roll of it. So you've paid that much for it. You don't want to cover it up, and you don't have to. All right, so I've got my nub. I'm going to hold it right there, put it in, and then grab this end and hold. Take a 20-inch piece. Every black one has the orange added to it. Therefore, that's why that gives it that color, and you don't need any ribbon. I thought when I put the sign on, maybe I'd put a bow, but I don't think it's even going to need that. Okay. So there's that one. The next I'm going to do the plaid with nothing added to it, just the plaid. You want to fold it in half because you don't want one a lot longer than the other. Get your nub and hold it. And then grab it once it goes through that zip tie. And then just pull it tight.
Faith Harrison Godbolt. Hello, Joy.
Hi, Faith. Thank you for being here. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the black one. It took just a couple of minutes to kind of get used to holding the black and trying to maneuver the orange deco mesh, the tubing. And you can see your bottom, your cut edges are inside and at the bottom, which is why you don't have to heat seal it. All right, so I'm going to get my black in there, and I'm going to grab that nub and hold it. I'm going to run one end of the jute. I love this orange. It's thicker. Shiny would have definitely worked, though. But now the oranger is more expensive, too. I believe it's about $15 for the pack. And I used about a half a pack for this wreath. But you don't have the expensive ribbon either, so. And they don't have to be exact. They don't have to be perfect. All right, one more. and we're done. Then I'll cut off my zip ties and put my sign on and decide if I need to add some filler to the middle. I may just need to add a couple of ruffles to keep my sign from sinking. We'll see. That's just one of those things that you don't know until you're done. Now you definitely could have put more in that row 2, but there's no need to. Look how full that is, and you don't see that board anywhere. All right, let me cut those zip ties. So that was 32 pieces so far. 16 of the black and 16 of the plaid. This is called a zip tie gun. It just makes it real easy to cut those zip ties. Okay, so now we're going to get our sign ready to go on there. And I think I probably am. I'm going to need to add some filler right here. So all I'm going to do that, I still have plenty of the, don't have any black, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to add a couple. I'm going to leave them open because I'm not sure what I'll end up doing. Let's see if 2 will be enough. It just needs some fullness. So you can't see the board and for the sign. So I'm just going to take this again, find my rotary cutter. I'm just going to keep the same 16 inches. And let's see if 2 is going to fill that enough. And I'm just going to ruffle this one because you're not going to see it. I need a little fullness right there. I'm going to try to get away with just 2, but if I have to add 4, that's okay too. This will allow my sign to set up. And see, this one wants to ruffle, and the thing about it, not ruffle, see how it wants to shed, fray, and the thing is, it doesn't stop when it gets to the end. You pretty much have to cut it off. You can stop a lot of that after you make your wreaths by spraying it with a clear sealant, like Krylon. So if this works, it would be 18 of the plaid ones. And I believe that's going to do it. I don't think you're going to be able to see. You're not going to be able to see the board. So there's actually room for 4 in the center. So this would work with just a round sign too. So what I did, see, is I just put 1 here and 1 here. I still could have put 1 here and here, but I didn't. So you've got 16, 8, 8, and 2. All right, I got to make sure I got my sign at the top. There's my hanging hole. So you want to make sure you get him. And what I'm going to do is I've already put 1 hook right there. I'm going to put 2 more here at his feet. And we're going to put him on with 3 pipe cleaners. Now you could add some glue to these if you think you need to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but like right now I don't have my glue gun on, so I'm not. And And when you're working with a wire frame, you could just put it somewhere on the wire. This, I'm going to have to find the closest holes and run it through the holes. Okay. So I'm going to start at my top. And I'm not going to do it very tight to start with. Probably going to try to get it in one of these two holes. I didn't bring my needle in here tonight.
I can go get it.
That's okay. It will depend on if this is up high enough. And see, I found one hole. I just got to get this other one right next to it. Okay. I know that's right in the center. So then you have to decide, you know, how far up you want it to come. And I'm just going to like twist it once to hold it where it doesn't come out. And I don't want him down too far. So I might go up. Hopefully I'm not going back wrong way here. Emma? I'm going to go up to these top two holes because he's a little longer than I was thinking. Yeah, I was twisting it the wrong way. So now we're going to take those out and move him up to these two. You know, truthfully, sometimes it takes longer to put a sign on and get him straight than anything else. And y'all know I like to hang things up and work on them. Okay, so there he's going to be in the top two. That lifts him up a little bit. That's better. And we'll worry about all that when I get him situated here. Okay, so now these are going to go somewhere right through here. I'm going to put him off the edge of the table, lift him up a little so I can feel that hole. And I'm just going, you know, through the ones I already have a zip tie in. And you can tell you're straight or whatever by looking where the hole is once you turn him over. Just twist him, and let's put these two before I get him very tight. Hopefully in the same row. The same holes. There's that one. There's that one.
And Travis says, I love the colors of the mesh.
Yeah, it's a real pretty mesh. And like I said, Ed and I both agreed when I held the sign up to it, you know, we don't always agree. He says I tend to overdo sometimes with embellishments, but, you know, this just didn't need anything extra. Sorry, y'all, I'm still trying to find that hole. You'd have thought I've learned the other night that it's a lot easier to take the needle and run it from the bottom up than to hunt the hole. Of course, when you get on live, you try to get it in a hurry.
You get in a hurry, you can't I can't do nothing.
I don't have a whole lot of space here to work because he's kind of tight. And the more you touch this, is that the right hole? Yeah. Ah! Hang on, he's trying to slip. It's like catching a worm going back into its hole. I had him. And he slipped back in there. He was in the right hole, too. And then when your pipe cleaner starts to bend, which is why a lot of people don't like to work with pipe cleaners.
You should have brought your needle.
I know, because I can tell my pipe cleaner has bent now. He's not going to win, though, if I have to go get the stupid needle. I probably could put scissors through there. And thing is, I had him in the right hole. Okay, y'all come back next week. I'll have him. And there's plenty of room there. It's just, number one, I didn't put my glasses on. No, those won't go through there. All right. You know what? Y'all talk to Ed a second. I'm going to get that stupid needle. I'll be right back. What you doing today? Okay, I'm back. Learn from that. Always have a needle in here in my bag. So we're going to turn him over and we're going to put that needle through there. And then put the pipe cleaner through the needle and pull it back through. I probably need to keep that needle in here somewhere. Okay. All right, he feels like he's caught on something, but we conquered him. All right. Now I'm just going to twist these just a time or two so I can kind of straighten up my mesh around to his feet and stuff.
And Travis says, a good woman never gives up.
Nope. Nope, he's not going to win. We're going to kind of pull the edges out a little bit here, around his feet, around that stubborn spot. So he's snuggled in there. Okay. I may bring this top one a little bit tighter to where he's snug up there too. Okay, so see, you can tell this was my center. So I've got the feet like where they need to be on each side, and I will cut these and stick them back in those holes, and then it'll just be a plain. And see, I've got a little bit of fraying here, and I will just clip this, spray it good with the sealer on the edges. Somebody said hairspray, but I worry about hairspray getting sticky outside, so. Okay. All right, so there he is. What do y'all think? I think he's cute. I don't think he needs any kind of bow. any kind of ribbon. There's no glue anywhere on it for anything to fall off. You've got a very, might as well go ahead and do these. You've got a very clean back. That you could have done all of it with pipe cleaners, but zip ties just make it super easy. And I'm just going to fold those back in the holes. So you cut them just a little bit long and take the ends and push them back through that hole so there's nothing sharp.
And Travis says Mod Podge sealer is good.
Yeah. Anything that'll kind of glue those edges together a little bit. But really and truly, with this particular pedal, I'm calling it a pedal, I don't know.
Barbara Rosecrans says, love it, very cute.
But, you know, I just want to show you that these boards, see how plain, and I put jute up here for the hanger. You don't have anything there to scratch back. Good and clean. And then you've got the pretty colorful, and it is, let's see, it's about 19 inches, 18 and a half, 19 inches round, so it's pretty good size. You could do the same thing on the large flower board, and it would just make a bigger one, and you would probably use like 4 rows of the mesh and stuff, but pretty much, I still have this much of that 1 row of plaid. So my guess is, counting the black, and I started out with just a partial roll, my guess is probably a roll and a half. If you figure there's 360 inches if it on a 10-yard roll, and we did 16 inches times 32, so it's what, 400 and something, so a little more than a roll total, you know, for all the petals. If you did 1 color, 2 colors, it's about, you know, a half roll of each, 3/4, something like that. So okay, well, there's our Mr. Gnome, and this is my second Halloween wreath, but it's the last one I'm going to make. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. And like I said, you can get everything from Craft Outlet to make this, even the sign. But Lori has a lot of cute signs on her shop too. You could go to uniqueinthecreek.com and buy the boards and pick out some mesh and stuff that you like. It's just something about this pretty fuzzy jute that I think is pretty. If you didn't want to use the jute, you definitely could use ribbon. I had a lot of striped ribbon and polka dot ribbon, and I just didn't think I wanted to do that with this pretty mesh, because like I said, you've paid, I think it's $8.50 for this roll of mesh, so I want to be able to see that mesh in my wreath. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. That wasn't too bad, about 45 minutes. And I will be back Monday at 6 o'clock. I'll sit back down. Ed doesn't know what to do with the camera, I don't think. But I get hot moving around. But I'm going to go and clean up this mess and take pictures and spray the wreath and all that good stuff. But we're done with Halloween now.
Thank you, Miss Ann, for the stars.
I may have, I did like 2 little decorative things and 2 wreaths, and so from now on it will be all fall stuff. So not sure exactly what we're going to do next Thursday, but I'm thinking about, you know, all the pumpkins that we did, which I still haven't finished all those pumpkins and took pictures of them, but I will feel much better next week, and I'll get those done. I'm thinking about showing you how to take a lot of things from the Dollar Tree put together and make your own little candlesticks and your risers to put your pumpkins on and stuff. So that may be what we do next Thursday. But Monday we'll be doing the craft kit. This month it's like a embroidery hoop, and you stencil on a piece of material that they've given you. They've given you the greenery. I just opened my box and peeked at it, and it looks to me like there's plenty of greenery. You'll have some left over. But we're going to do the craft kit Monday night. So I will see y'all Monday at 6. Thank you very much for joining tonight. Don't forget the hashtag spider to be eligible to win the little napkins to make you a pillow. And we will be drawing that on Monday at 6. See y'all later, and y'all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.